today we are going to talk about trauma with our mental health specialist, Grace. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment chat box and also leave us follow-up questions. Mtakuwa answered. Yeah, so fast forward to Grace. So Grace, how have you been since the last time we met on the live show? How has life been?
I've been well. Thank God. I've been awesome. I thank God it's the last month of the year. So I also thank God for this far that He has brought us, for what I was able to achieve, for what we've been able to do. Yeah, so I've been doing well. I've been doing great. I'm looking forward to the holidays. Yeah. Hello?
I'm sorry if there was a hitch. I was sharing the link to the live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so today we are going to talk about trauma. So, in your own terms, what do you define, or how do you define trauma?
Okay, so I'll define trauma as an injury or an wound or an experience that I have gone through and it's left a mark in my life. So it could either have left a physical mark or it could have left a psychological mark. So that's what I would define trauma as, something that has happened to me that has left a mark in my life.
Wow. Okay. And are there any forms of trauma, or trauma is just trauma?
Okay, so as I said, maybe to add on to the definition, it can be a single event or it could be a series of events that has threatened the well-being of an individual or a group. Yeah, and yeah, so there are, so trauma can either be, it's so examples of trauma can be something that I have experienced, something that I have witnessed, something that was horrifying, something that left me in fear, something that left me helpless, something that it gives me of I'm overwhelmed to cope with this thing. Yeah, so or yeah, so it's something that has just happened in my life that has left me with this wound or with this injury or with this memory that is really traumatic. So trauma can be classified. We can have primary and secondary trauma. So maybe in simple terms, primary is trauma that I have experienced as an individual, that I was in the front line, that I had maximum exposure to. While secondary trauma could be something that I have witnessed as a person, or a relative of mine has been a victim of that thing. We also have community involved trauma. You know, when we have wars, when we have earthquakes, when we have violence, those are also, causes of trauma.
Flood. Can we also add it there?
Yeah, we can also add floods. You can add earthquakes, landslides, fires. So those are also traumas. So those are traumas that maybe as a community or as a country, we have witnessed. Like I'm sure countries that have gone through war, they've been left with that trauma of the war. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm learning. I'm learning. It's good. And then, can you give us a simple instance of a traumatic event that has happened to a person, so that we may expound on it, so that I may ask questions on it to make it easier for
Okay.
everybody to understand.
Okay, maybe I can use my own example of maybe a traumatic an event that occurred to me and I was left in trauma. So I think it happened when I was knocked down by a matatu. I used to go for morning walks. Every Saturday morning, I would wake up and do that Saturday morning walk just to keep, healthy. And I used to really enjoy it with my earphones, just walking, you know, just to make sure that my body is moving for some time. And I remember one time, and I used to be very vigilant in crossing with the zebra crossing. But I remember one time when I was crossing, I could see this matatu. At first, I saw this matatu was very far. But when I started crossing, the more I was crossing, the more it was nearer. And that is how the matatu ended up hitting me. And so I remember days after, even till now, because of that trauma, I'm I'm very scared when it comes to crossing roads. Like I'm the kind of person who really takes time to cross roads. When I work with people, I see people just crossing the roads, but for me, it really takes time for me to be able to cross the road. And every time I'm crossing the road, I always feel like this car will hit me, this one will hit me. So that is something that I have had to live with. But slowly and slowly, I'm now trying to regain my confidence when crossing the road. So if I'm with someone whom I really trust, I will always hold their hands and then we cross together. But yeah, so that is an example of a traumatic event.
I'm really sorry about your accident. So a
If,
follow-up question: how did you take it? Like, this has happened to me. How did you take it? Did you take it easily? Did you like tell yourself it wasn't your fault? Did you blame yourself partly for it? How did you like? How did did you consume it first when it happened?
Actually, the moment I was hit and I saw myself down on the road, I was in so much shock. Like I was in so much disbelief. Like
I've lost you. I've lost you somewhere, Grace. So as we wait for her to rejoin, guys, if you have any question, if you are undergoing a traumatic event right now in your life, you can hit us up. I'll link you to Grace so that she may take you through the therapy sessions. I know it's not easy. Trauma is bad. It is one of the causes of suicide in the country. So it's good that if you need that help, you get it. You'll get it. She's a mental health expert, so she'll take you through it. So we are learning from her one on one what happened to her, how she overcame it, and all that. So if you have any question, just comment in the section or inbox me. My number is on the socials as well, or I can read it out louder for you to get it, so that you may get in touch with her. This is my public contact. The private one is for private business. Yeah, so my contact is 0719 757143. So you can get in touch with me, WhatsApp me, send me a text message, call me, so that I may do what? I may link you up with Grace. Uh, and don't feel shy to share your experiences. If you can talk about it on our live coverages, uh, still let me know. I'll invite you over and you'll talk about your event, what you're going through. Maybe it will help you come through, overcome it, and rise again and become the you that you used to be before. Or whatever you are facing came through. Yeah, we are here for each other. This life siku hizi venye imekuwa ngumu, there are so many things that are not going as planned, so we really 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 need to hold each other's hands. Yeah, so I hope Grace is ready now to join. Yeah, so always just talk to someone. Don't take your life away. We need each other. Yeah, so we were listening to Grace tell us an event that happened to her that caused her trauma. Yeah, so let's keep listening and let's learn something from how she handled the whole issue. I thank you. Come back.
Sorry.
I can hear you, just that I can't see you well.
Can you hear me?
Yes, but you're not as audible as you were before. I'm waiting for you. I can't hear you. Oh no, I've been talking the whole time while I'm muted. I feel so damn. That is not good. I mean, okay. So as I was saying, there are various traumatic events that we go through as an individual, as a family, as a group, as a nation. Kama saa hizi Kenya are going through trauma. I don't know. We'll go over it, but hey, it will take time. Kila mtu ataketi chini akumbuke the year 2023 because damn, the pockets are not filling up, bills are just hiking, money is just not there. But my friend, let's not take our lives away. Let's always hold each other's hands. Let's always be talking to each other. Let's always listen. If someone calls you and they want to talk, just listen. If that's the only thing you can give them, if that is the only thing you can give them your listening ears. Give them a hug. Be there for them. Show up for them. It will mean a lot to that person. And so, as an individual, if you're going through something, talk to a friend. You don't have a trusted friend, talk to a family member. You don't have, if the family is the cause of it, go professional. Go to somewhere, just sit with a stranger, even in a bar, and talk to them. You don't have to drink alcohol, you can take soda and just talk to someone that you don't know. Tell them what you're going through, let them advise you, and you'll just feel relief. If you've never felt relief after talking to a total stranger, I mean, you've not gone through it. Because there's a lot of relief that comes with talking to a total stranger. I mean, you just tell them, hey, bana, mimi napitia ABCD, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then they advise you, and then you leave there feeling fulfilled, having solutions to your problem. You see, another thing is family. If family is part of your trauma, please sit down and talk. Sit and talk. If that is too hard to do, then go look for help from a professional, because family is like a basic unit. You do what you survive with family. Family will always have your hand, hold your hand, will always be there for you and with you, whether you love them or you don't, whether they cause you the traumatic trauma or not, they'll always be there for you. So the thing is, if it's family that's causing you all this, just them down and talk to them. Tell them there's ABCD that is going on and I don't like it, or I didn't love the way you handled ABCD situation. Hmm? It's good to talk. Communication is very key to helping you come out of a traumatic event. Let's not just like die with our thoughts, die with I know it's weird for me who is an intro advising you, because mimi ndio ni open up, it will have taken me like a lot of energy, but pole pole with time I have very few friends that I trust, that I talk to. Yeah, so uh, pole 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 opening up is not easy. It comes with stages. You have to tell yourself like, hey, this thing is drowning me, so I have to speak it out. If I don't, then my head will explode, because you'll be overthinking. You'll be thinking about every other thing that is negative, because you're not in a good mental state. You see? Yeah, so work on it. Work on being better. Work on being a good person. Work on being mentally healthy, mentally stable, because right now that is whom we need in the country. We don't need mentally unstable people on the streets. So is it already the streets are stressing us out. So unaweza imagine ukiwa na hiyo stress kwa street, na upatane na mwingine ako na stress yake kwa street, it will be chaos. So let's embrace each other, let's work with each other, let's be there for each other. Mm. Let's be there for each other. Give me a minute.
Hello.
Okay, welcome back. I'm sorry for your hitch, but we can continue. Are you ready? Uko sawa?
Hello, I'm about that.
It is okay. Hitches happen, but it's good that you're back. Yeah. So you were telling us how you took in the event that happened to you, the first reaction to that.
Oh yeah. So after the accident, I remember wake opening my eyes and I'm down on the road, and I was in so much shock, much unbelief. Like I was so confused, and I was in a panic mode. It's like, God, I've missed death, but I was so, and I looked at him in the eye, those ones of, you want to kill me, like, yeah. So those were the feelings that really went through my mind. I was so confused. I didn't even know what to do. I didn't know who to call first, who not to call. Like I was just confused.
Okay, after it had happened and and now you had to face the, let's say, the consequences of the action, or afterwards, maybe after going to the hospital and then you realize that you can't be working for a few more days. How did you take it? How was your family? Was it supportive? How did you take how like what was your expectations of the people around you at that time?
Because I remember calling a family member and telling them that I've just gotten into an accident, and they came. Okay, so my injuries were not so bad. I could walk on my own. And I remember calling a family member and telling them what has happened. And they're the ones who actually took me to hospital. So at the hospital, they had to do, I didn't even, I was not even able to do the paperwork. And I went to see the doctor. And so when they started cleaning the wound, is when I started feeling the pain and the reality that this is what has happened to me. But my family was very supportive, or friends were very supportive because I shared it with my friends. And some of them were even able to come and see me home. Yeah. And they'd give me the encouragement that I need.
Okay, yeah. So what happens in the case where someone has gone through such a traumatic event, but they do not have people that they trust or people around them that can help them go through the event?
Yeah. So when they there are people who, when they go through a traumatic event, they lack support. of who to talk to.
We've lost you, Grace. We lost you when you had started talking about how someone can get help if they are not around helpful people at the moment.
Okay, so maybe we, when you go through, maybe can you do about it, right? Say is maybe have someone whom you can have the victim of the traumatic event be able to speak and to be heard about their experience, but in a safe place. And also they need to know that whatever has happened to them was wrong, and that the emotions that they are feeling or they are very valid and they are very legitimate. And so they can also be to process the events that they have. And also counseling would be also a good channel. Just go and seek counseling services, maybe look for a therapist so that they can be able to share what happened, and the therapist can help them to cope with these traumatic events. The therapist can help them to give them strategies or ways that they can overcome. And so they can also seek to be empowered, you know, because the power has gone from them, but now they can rebuild that power again. Like I'm personally slowly trying to build that confidence to be able to cross the road with so much ease. So in a nutshell, I would say it's good if they could seek someone to talk to, and also they should also know that whatever they have gone through is is not normal. It's not acceptable, and that their feelings or their emotions at that time are very valid. Like me, when I have that fear, or when I'm scared, or when I'm worried, I know that is very valid because of what I have, because of my experience. And because of that, I want to take my time, and I don't want to rush through crossing the road.
Okay, I get it. And then, can you also expound on stages, if at all there are stages that one can or can one can embrace or one can go through when they want to heal or get through a traumatic event, heal from their trauma. Let's say childhood trauma. I went through maybe something in my childhood that is affecting me till date. How can I go through all those until I heal? The stages.
Hello?
I can hear you. Oh, I said I was asking whether you can give us the stages to healing from trauma. Yes, I can get you now.
Sorry, I keep on losing you because of the internet. Could, could you repeat the question again?
Yeah, I asked whether you could tell us the stages to healing from a traumatic event, from when it happened to when someone is like completely healed. Like, what are the stages?
Okay. Person to person, and how take event differently person, and so that's why we said it's important for them to seek persons. So I have, using my notes, I can briefly take stages. Yeah. So hello.
Yes, we're waiting for the notes. Is it in a slide or how are you going to share with us?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you in bits.
Okay, maybe give me 1 minute, then I can just move to a different place.
Yeah, guys, these are the hitches we're going through, but hopefully, with time, will be better. We'll get our own studio and be recording our lives from.
Let me see if they can work. I haven't switched it. Sitakuwa na pesa laptop. Having a problem with the internet. I've already bought. Hello.
Yeah, I can get you.
Yeah. Okay, so there are three phases for the trauma impact.
Well, you have a lot of echo. Analia, analia, da-da-da-da-da, da-di-da-di-da.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so we were doing the three trauma impact phases. So these are the phases that a person who has gone through trauma normally experiences. Just give me a minute, I make the cuttings. So the first phase is the impact phase. And this is up to 3 days. It normally lasts for 3 days. And at this point, the person who is going through the trauma is in shock, they're in numbness, and they're having a lot of flashbacks of what happened. They have a lot of fright, like they're very frightened, and then their survival is high, like they're really they're just trying to survive by the moment. So that's the impact phase. Then we have the recoil phase, which is 3 to 30 days. And this is where, when they think of the event or what happened to them, it becomes a nightmare. So they have a lot of anger towards what happened to them. They have a lot of fear. They have a lot of sadness. And there's so much guilt. And they're also questioning, why did it happen? Then we have the reintegration phase. This is after a month. Now they're learning how to cope with that traumatic event. They're also dealing with prejudices. They're integrating the trauma as a normal memory. Like it's something like they're trying to live with that memory without it, yeah, being maybe hurting them or something like that. So those are the three phases.
Of those phases, which is the hardest to cope with?
So of the three phases, I would say the hardest is when we say the impact phase. Because remember, the impact phase is for the 3 days. So you see, for those 3 days, this person is in so much fright, like they are so scared. They have so much fear, they have so much anxiety because the traumatic event is very fresh on their mind. So the first phase is usually the hardest, for them just to be able to live beyond those 3 days. It's actually a very big achievement for them.
And how can one deal with acceptance after a life-changing event? Maybe an event that happened that maybe changed the way their body looks like, changed the way the way the society looks at you is very different. How does one deal with that? Like accepting themselves before the society accepts them for the change that they have right now in their life.
So there's some traumatic events that leave us physically injured. Maybe they've changed. There are people who have gone through accidents. Their legs had to be cut off, or they had to live with a scar for the rest of their lives. And at first, it's usually hard for the victim, or it's usually hard for this person. And when if they start going for therapy, or if they start seeking the services of a counselor, they can be able to talk about it. Maybe talk, how do I feel about this car? How do I feel about this? And then they can also be able to come to a point of acceptance by looking at the fact that they cannot change whatever has happened, but they can look for ways that they can live with their current situation. But it will all be very possible if they could seek the services of a therapist, or the services of a counselor, or they have a safe space where they talk about these things.
Okay, I keep learning things every day. It's amazing. Okay, what message do you have to the community, to the public, about how to handle someone with trauma? How to respond to trauma? I mean, maybe we have someone in our vicinity who has had such a big change in life, and we don't know how to approach it, and we just see them go into depression. How What can you advise the society to do for the person to help them?
Okay, thank you for this question. And this is a good question, because we live in a society whereby people tell you, oh, it's just happened, it's in the past, you'll overcome. But you see, society is always very quick to give opinions, or to give suggestions, or to brush it off, because they themselves have not gone through what the person has gone through. Like I always say, until you wear the shoes of the person, you don't know what is happening in their lives. And I feel like for me, when I got the accident, so I usually feel bad when people tell me it was just an accident. You have to overcome. You don't have to have fear crossing the roads. But maybe you don't know what goes through my mind when I'm crossing those roads. And I feel like the best thing as society we can do to trauma victims is just to give them a platform where they can talk about the traumatic event. Just give them a platform where they can go through the emotions, and we have not to judge, um not judge, because say, oh, it was just that. It was not just that for them, because their lives have changed, and we have to be patient with them. And we also have to be able to walk, to hold their hands and walk with them, and help them to overcome this trauma, or show them the positive side of life about it. Because I always say, we are different, and how you react to something is very different to how the next person seated next to you reacts to it. So we just have to be mindful of our words, our actions, and we just have to make sure
We've lost you again, Grace. But it is okay. I thank you very much for the sentiments today. I've learned a lot about trauma. Right now, even if I had some event that has been traumatizing me, I'm sure I'll know how to handle because hey, you really have some good things for us in store. We have learned a lot, and I'm sure people are also going to learn. I think we should do this next time, and at least the next live should be better. We've had a lot of features today, but I hope we'll find the appropriate time for us and haitasumbua both the internet and the babysitting. Yeah, so but I've learned a lot. Thank you so much for your sentiments. I'm looking forward to learning more from you again. Um, to wrap it up, I think you can talk about how people tell us how we can contact you, where you are located, and for those who will be needing such sessions, they'll be reaching out to you.
Okay, so I've also had a good time today despite the internet hitches, and I'm grateful for this opportunity that you give me every time to be able to share knowledge, to be able to share insights on things that affect us every day. So, my name is Grace, and so people can reach me through my phone number, which is 0724907256. They can drop me a message, a text message, a WhatsApp message, or even a phone call. Then I will be able to be of help to them, um, depending on what they need at that particular time. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, guys, if you need her services, kindly get in touch with her. She's given us her number, and she's unaona venye ako resourceful. So definitely utatoka huko ukiwa sawa. Thank you so much. Have a nice day, Grace. I'll see you next time.
You too. Have a nice Sunday.
So, guys, that was Grace. She's a mental health specialist. We've had a talk today about trauma. So, if you have someone going through trauma, if you yourself are going through a traumatic event, kindly speak up. Speak up. The first thing is to accept and then you talk. Talk, please. Don't let it eat you up because our silence these days make us have things eating us up and we end up losing lives at a very young age, which is not good. Let's normalize talking. It is good. It will help us get through life. Always be a brother's keeper. Always be there for each other. You don't have to be there financially. Be there physically. Just lend a listening ear, and it will be good. It will be good. Hold each other's hands. Let's all sail together well. Na pia kama kuna stress, look for a person, talk to them, talk to a stranger, talk to family, talk to an expert. You see, seek help before you give up on yourself because we're not giving up on each other. Come on, why should we? It's life. We need to hold each other's hands and pamoja tutasonga mbele. Yeah, so today we've had a lot of hitches, but I hope that next time it will be better because yeah, today is on Sunday, so I'm babysitting. Grace had some network issues, but I really hope that next time it will be better. Yeah, so having said all that, I hope to see you in the next one. But share, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll really be grateful uh, for the growth, for the numbers, and everything. I'm really thankful for those people that are always coming back to watch, for the feedbacks that I get even in my inboxes on WhatsApp. I'm really grateful. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for listening to me. It takes one plus one to add the numbers. Then kindly share it. Share this with your friends. Share this with your family. Let them share with anyone that's going through trauma. Yeah, we're talking about mental health. It's very vital. So we need to be in a good state. Yeah. So as we sail through life, let's always have each other's back. Thank you. Thank you again, once again. Thank you for always coming back, for listening, for showing up. And please subscribe if you haven't. Share, comment, like. Let's all view, let's all learn, let's all be better for tomorrow. I wish you a blessed day, blessed week ahead, blessed rest of the month and the rest of the year. Yeah. Wow. Once again, happy new month. It's my birthday month. Oops. Ah, how could I forget that? And it is Jesus' birthday, birthday month also. So, um, Mjibambe, Mjibambe, I'll see you before 25th. That is my hope. In 2 weeks. So thank you. Have a nice day. Bye. Ciao.